Okay, thank you. So, welcome to all the devotees. So, today we'll be starting from chapter 16 onwards. This is one of the important sections of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we'll be discussing with respect to the regular slides. We'll not be going by verse as we usually do. These slides will contain the information of all the verses, but we don't see the shlokas and translations. So all the details mentioned in the Bhagavatam are presented in the form of pictorial descriptions so that we can understand it in a better way. Okay, thank you. So as we have studied in the beginning, uh, at the end of second canto, that hearing many questions asked by Parashit Maharaj, Srila Sukadeva Goswami says that no, I need to speak to you Bhagavatam, which was spoken to me by my father, Srila Vasudev, who heard it from Narada Muni, who heard it from Brahma, who heard it from Lord Narayana himself in 4 shlokas, which was known as Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And that Bhagavatam contains 10 topics, 10 principal characteristics. Atra sarga visargascha sanam poshanamutaya manvantareshanukata nirodho muktirashvaya. So having said that, he also defines what it means sarga, what it means visarga in the 10th chapter of the second canto. But in the third canto, starting from chapter 5 all the way up to chapter 11, Sukadeva Goswami, quoting the conversation that took place between Maitreya and Vidura, he explains the sarga, the process of primary creation, how the primary creation takes place through Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and etc. That has been stated. That was the first topic. And then the second topic is presented. It was introduced in chapter 10 of third canto. Then it was elaborated in chapter 12 and chapter 20. So Visarga has 2 sections, 2 components. One component is that particular part of creation done by Brahma that was stated in chapter number 10, 12 and 20. And then subsequent continual creation by the descendants of Lord Brahma that is explained in the entire 4th canto and all the way up to the previous chapter, the 15th chapter of the 5th canto. So in all these chapters, how the continual creation will goes on by the descendants of Lord Brahma, such as Swayambhuva Manu and his children, and all the other great sages who are known as Prajapatis, how they will continue the creation. An example of that has been shown in these 2 cantos, the whole canto 4 and the first half of the canto 5, which talks about how generation after generation the Srishti is continuing during the Swayambhu Manvantara period. So now, having talked about Sarga and Visarga, the 2 components of Visarga, now Srila Sukadeva Goswami is going to talk about Sthanam, the third topic. Sthanam means the maintenance of the entire universe. So Lord Vishnu had created the universe as part of Sarga, and Lord Brahma had created the 14 planetary systems and the variety of living entities who are supposed to live in these 14 planetary systems, that was part of Visarga. And now, under what conditions all these people are situated, by which they are maintained day in, day out, life after life. That is called Sthanam. Sthanam is basically, it talks about the maintenance of all these people who are living all over the universe in those 14 planetary systems. This is basically the maintenance and protection of the living entities in general. How Lord Vishnu, who is the maintainer of the entire universe, maintains all the living entities who are living all over the universe by providing suitable facilities that are required in order those people are nicely maintained. So that kind of description is there in this part of Bhagavatam. The remaining part of third and fifth canto talks about the maintenance of the entire universe. How Shirodakshaya Vishnu carries out the maintenance of the entire universe by providing suitable facilities to all people. It's just like we can simply understand that In our home, like home is big family. The grandparents are there, parents are there, children are there. The parents go to office and earn money so that the grandparents and their children are their parents and their children and also relatives, friends, all these people are maintained by their earning. So the responsible person in the family takes the responsibility of maintaining the entire family by going to office, earning money, and providing all the facilities, providing food, clothing, and shelter, and vehicle, and other things, whatever is necessary as per time plus circumstances. That is called maintenance. Similarly, the Lord maintains all of us by providing us the suitable facilities that are required for us, that we deserve according to our karma. So something like that. So this is in the fifth canto. So it was defined by Sukadeva Goswami as Stitir Vaikunta Vijaya, the general protection of Sthanam means the general protection of all living entities, which shows Lord Vishnu's excellence in maintenance over Brahma's creation and Lord Shiva's annihilation. So Vaikunta Vijaya means the maintenance of the entire universe upholds Lord Vaikunta's glory. Creation, yeah, it is done. May annihilation, it will be done in a moment. You can annihilate everything. Creation also you can do it maybe with little hard work, but maintaining requires at most hard work. So that's why the maintenance makes Lord Vishnu as excellent Lord. So something like that. Sthiti means the condition of the jivas who are living all over the universe in the 14 planetary systems. Vaikunta Vijaya means God destroys the suffering of living entities by providing the suitable circumstances required for all the living entities. This talks about the geography of the universe and its protection by the devatas. So it is though Lord is actually the maintainer of the entire universe, but he maintains the entire universe with the help of the devatas through the agency of the devatas. So it's basically the maintenance of the inhabitants of Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka, who are situated there with their rules and regulations. Of course, we have 14 planetary systems, but of the 14 planetary systems, the upper four planetary systems, known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, these four lokas do not need a lot of maintenance. They are like self-maintained. They don't need anybody else's supervision, etc. And the lower seven planetary systems, such as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, they don't want anybody else's intervention in their life. They don't accept Lord Vishnu or Devatas supervision over them. So, in one sense, they are also on their own. The remaining three lokas out of 14, below 7 and above 4, do not require specific maintenance. The remaining three, which are in the middle, that is Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka, these three locals specifically need maintenance. And this maintenance is supervised by the Devatas under the guidance of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. So this is the overall aspect. So basically, the maintenance of Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka by the Devatas under the guidance of Lord Vishnu. So it is like that. So by the way, we'll discuss about all the 14 lokas, what kind of people are living there, what kind of facilities they have, etc., etc. We'll discuss as well. There is also how the devatas are supervising these three lokas. That is also we'll be discussing. So why this discussion begins in the Bhagavatam? As we know, Bhagavatam is all about Bhakti and Bhakta and Bhagavan. It is all about how devotees are practicing Bhakti and serving the Supreme Lord. So Parikshit Maharaj is on the verge of death. He needs some inspiration to leave his body. So there should be discussion about devotional service. Why there is a discussion about the creation and maintenance and all. So because all these things are spoken in response to the questions asked by the hearer. Vidura is asking questions or Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions, and hence the speaker Maitreya Rishi or Parikshit Sukadeva Goswami is responding. So in that way. So Parikshit Maharaj asks a question to Sukadeva Goswami in the first 3 verses of 16th chapter, wherein Parikshit Maharaj says, in Bhumandala, 7 oceans were created by the 7 ditches made by Priyavrata Maharaja's chariot wheel, from which 7 islands appeared. So this is basically, it was told in the first chapter, he's just repeating. I desire to know all about the oceans and islands with their measurements and qualities. So my dear sir, you've spoken about how Priyavrata Maharaj divided the Bhumandala into 7 islands by creating 7 concentric oceans. So you spoke it in the first chapter, but right now I want to know about them in detail. So Maharaj Parikshit inquires about the dimensions of the islands and oceans, which he had heard about in the story of Priyavrata 5:1:30 to 35. So he did not ask question then, because he was hearing about Priyavrata Maharaj and his son Agnidra and his son Nabi, his son Lord Rishabdev, his son Bharat Maharaj, and Bharat Maharaj 3 lifetimes, Bharat Maharaj the king, Bharat Maharaj the deer, Bharat Maharaj as Brahmana Bharata, and then Bharat Maharaj descendants all the way up to Gaya, Vijaya, Viraja, etc. Having heard about all of them, when the pastime is over, now Parikshit Maharaj is raising the question. The topic is over. Now Sukadeva Goswami he kind of paused. So taking that opportunity, immediately Parikshit Maharaj asks the question about the 7 islands and 7 oceans which Priyavrata Maharaj created. Little bit details about them. Why? Why he is asking all these questions? The mind fixed on the Lord's gross form can absorb itself in the Brahman, Bhagavan, Vasudeva, the light of the soul, who is beyond matter, therefore should explain the structure of the universe. So in that assembly, not only Parikshit Maharaj is sitting, there are many other personalities. Some of them are practicing Karma Yoga, some of them are practicing Jnana Yoga, some of them are practicing Ashtanga Yoga, some of them are practicing Bhakti Yoga. There is a mixture of all the variety of people, all the variety of sages are sitting in that assembly. So some of them are in yoga, the path of yoga. So for their benefit, so they need some object to meditate upon. The entire universe is an object of meditation for the yogis. It is their dharanashraya, the object of their meditation. So for their benefit, Srila Parikshit Maharaj is asking that, can you please talk about this entire universe, which the yogis consider as the universal form and meditate upon them for their own purification. It is known that whatever we hear, that is what we meditate upon, and whatever we meditate upon, that is what we become attracted to. So the mind becomes completely absorbed in it, and one becomes completely attracted to that personality. So with an intention of increasing one's appreciation, one's understanding, one's attention, and one's meditation, Parikshit Maharaj is asking about the Supreme Lord's wonderful activities in the subject matter of maintaining the entire universe. So this was the inquiry which Parikshit Maharaj is asking in the first 3 verses. So in response to this inquiry, Srila Sukadeva Goswami talks about the entire universe. But in the beginning, Srila Sukadeva Goswami also expresses his inability to describe everything that is there in the entire universe. He says that, my dear king, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Lord's material energy. This material world is a transformation of the material qualities, the 3 gunas, Sattva guna, Rajoguna, and Tamaguna. Yet, no one could possibly explain it perfectly, even in a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. Even if a person, the speaker as well as the hearer have the lifespan of Brahma's lifespan, still they will not be able to discuss about the entire universe completely. But on one side, you have only 7 days, and I don't stay at one place for a long time. But still, whatever it is, since you have asked me in question, therefore, by giving a general description, I'll explain the particulars of Bhuloka, giving characteristics of name, shape, and dimensions. So he says that I'll briefly describe the entire universe. I talking about the important aspects of the entire universe. So even though person has the lifespan of Brahma, still they will not be able to complete all the details. And given the condition, we don't have much time to discuss about all these things. So I'll just touch upon the important aspects of the entire universe. So thus, Sukadeva Goswami gives a quick summary of the important aspects of the entire universe in chapter 16 to chapter 26. So about 11 chapters talks about the entire universe. So what is the purpose with which Srila Sukadeva Goswami is speaking this entire subject matter in the fifth canto of Bhagavatam? In order to show us the primary engagement of the people who are living all over the universe. So yes, the universe is very big. There are people are living all over, but what they are doing, what kind of activity they must be doing? Sukadeva Goswami through these 11 chapters, he talks about that the important people of in all these places, they are continuously engaged in devotional service under Supreme Lord. They may be doing many other things, but the main activity is engagement in devotional service. So since they are always engaged in devotional service, why not you or why not we? Like that Sukadeva Goswami hinting at us, the readers or hearers of Bhagavatam, that everyone in all over the universe is engaging in bhakti. Why not you? When you will engage in bhakti? So something like that. So this was the purpose with which Sukadeva Goswami talking about the entire universe, primarily highlighting their principal engagement. And he does not talk about the entire universe in detail. Instead, he talks about, he gives a brief overview of the different geographical locations of the entire universe. The intention in speaking about different geographical locations is to increase our appreciation toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, we hear the proverb saying that God is great, but how God is great, or how much the God is great, what makes the God great, we'll understand only when we hear and read Canto 2, Canto 3, and Canto 5 sections of Bhagavatam. In these sections of Bhagavatam, we talk about the majestic creation, the majestic maintenance of the entire universe. So when we discuss these things, we really get awe and reverence for the Supreme Lord. And finally, many times devotees say that okay, this is talking about the material world. It is all about matter. We don't have to discuss the subject matter. Let us skip these chapters and enter into sixth canto. Let us discuss the glories of holy name through Ajamil pastime. So let us immerse ourselves in holy name. Like that, some might say, but nothing like that. Anything connected to Supreme Lord becomes transcendental. When something has no connection to Supreme Lord, then it becomes material. But something is in connection with the Supreme Lord is never material object, material thing. The subject matter is all about Supreme Lord only. Then why it becomes material? It is completely spiritual. As the Lord Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, text number 9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah taktva deha punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. So those who hear in tatvatah about my transcendental birth and activities, they will never take birth again. Instead, they will go back home back to Godhead. Even this pastime, this maintenance pastime of the Supreme Lord has the same potency, taking one back home back to Godhead. It is nowhere less than the pastimes of Lord's various avatars, Krishna Lila, Ram Lila, etc. So these are some of the important aspects of this section. So there is a small video. Are you able to hear the audio of the video?
Not
Hare
yet.
Krishna.
Not yet.
Is audio coming?
No, no, Prabhu. No.
Okay. Settings, device setting. Mic and speakers. I think. Now it's coming. Hare Krishna. Now audio is coming.
No,
No, not
no, Prabhuji. No sound.
yeah now.
Yes or no?
No.
Just sounded for a second.
Now?
No.
No, I don't know what is the
Very
setting here.
feeble sound, Prabhuji. It's not audible.
It should come.
Whatever you are doing now, then once you are about to there again, you include sound and that is
No.
You put the audio, Hare Krishna?
No, Prabhuji.
No, huh? I don't settings. Maybe there could be some problem.
It's okay, Prabhuji. You can share later on otherwise.
No, actually, generally I conduct all these classes. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Is anybody speaking here?
Hare Krishna. Even I was wondering whether the class is going on.
Yeah, because I'm not able to hear anything.
Yes, even I cannot.
to pick it up. You just wait for some time. We are trying to set up.
Okay, okay. Thank you.